Good. All right, guys, seems we're live, which is good. People are coming in. Hi, Simran. Welker, does the Facebook reporting therefore impact the stats results we're seeing in Manychat? Oh, I don't know if it's necessarily connected to Manychat. What I see today in the last couple hours in the groups, that the reporting is again way off. That's the only thing I know. So stay tuned. I think there will be coming some updates from left and right. All right, guys, welcome again. Cheers. Bought some beers, the third webinar already, and we're going to talk about message tags and all the myths that are surrounded by it. Michael, welcome. Michael Flowers, Michael Kidai. Cool, guys. Good you guys are here. So we're going to talk about subscription messaging and message tags. And last week at the same time, I started the webinar, prepping it all day, making a beautiful presentation for you guys, everything, and then boom, out of nothing, Zoom went down. So that was some kind of a mess. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do it now. Let me see. There you go. I'm gonna just take this out. Guys, can you see the screen? If you can see the screen, guys, which I just shared with you, if you could let me know you can see it. Okay, perfect, because I'm going in presentation mode. And from that point on, I am not able to see your comments. So I'll check back for comments in a bit. So hang in there. It's going to be awesome. So as said, guys, we're going to talk about the breakdown of subscription messaging and message tags. Who's this for? This is for anyone who wants to keep using Messenger in 2019 and 2020, for that matter, without getting blocked or banned from the platform. I will show you some examples what happens if you start breaking the rules, but we'll get into that. So what can you expect from this webinar? We're gonna take a step-by-step walkthrough of the Messenger terms of service when it comes to message tags and subscription messaging. My objective is to educate you about what message tags are, what you can expect from them, and by the end of this webinar, which should take about 25 minutes, and then we have a Q&A, you should be able to determine if a subscription broadcast is or is not compliant. Now, you probably heard me say this more often. Everything you will hear here, you will hear and see in this webinar is purely based on my own research and is based on what is stated in the Facebook terms of service. You will not find any assumptions. You will not hear any, but my rep told me this or that, with all due respect. If it's not in the developer docs, or if it's not stated in the terms of service of Facebook, I don't take it that serious. It's not necessarily untrue, but if it's not stated there, then it could be anything. So why am I doing this? I'm on a mission to fight and counter the bullshit that's being taught in the Messenger bot space. For you guys that have been following me for a while, bots and beers, you probably know that I'm pretty anal, if you want to call it, on compliance. But the main reason because of that is that I see so much bullshit out there. I mean, people just doing it wrong. And with that said, I want you to do your own research. Don't take any shit for granted. Just all the documentation and everything you will see and hear in this webinar on these sheets is all taken from the terms of service. And what I try to do is to break it down for you guys to make it easy to understand. So what we're going to do, what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about the message definitions. We're going to talk about bait and switch. What's bait and switch? I'm going to show you some real life examples that will get you in trouble. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but at some point this shit will get you in trouble. And we're going to have a look and quickly talk about the subscription messaging timeline. And this timeline, the reason I included this timeline in the sheets is because I want to put some stuff in perspective. We're going to look at the broadcast settings in Manychat. We're going to have a look at the message tags, my final thoughts, my final 2 cents, whatever, and a Q&A. So let's have a look at the message let's have a look at 2 message definitions. So as you guys know, what we talked about in a different webinar is that there are different message types. And I just want to highlight 2 message types. One is the subscription broadcast, sorry, the subscription broadcast, which is the one that we're going to discuss today. And there's the follow-up broadcast, which is known as the +1. The definition of the subscription broadcast, here it is, and I'm going to quote Facebook: subscription broadcast messages can't contain ads or promotional materials, but can be sent at any time, regardless of time passed since last user activity. I am pretty sure the majority of you guys understand and know this sentence. But again, I'm just going to repeat it. Subscription broadcast messages cannot contain ads or promotional materials, but can be sent at any time, regardless of time passed since user activity, since last user activity. An amazing, powerful tool when used properly or within the terms and conditions. And then you got your follow-up broadcast, also known as your +1, which can be sent after the 24-hour window. You have an ability to send 1 follow-up message to these recipients that previously engaged with you. So let's move on. Bait and switch. Bait and switch is nothing more than, according to the dictionary, a sales tactic in which a customer is attracted by the advertisement of a low-priced item, but is then encouraged to buy a higher-priced one. Just let that sink in for a sec. Bait and switch, the definition of bait and switch, a sales tactic in which a customer is attracted by the advertisement of a low-priced item, but is then encouraged to buy a higher-priced one. Or the ploy of offering a person something desirable to gain favor. So in this case, such as political support, then thwarting expectations with something less desirable. And this is bringing me to the next point, because this is the shit that is being shared on Facebook. And this doesn't really matter from which group that is. Somebody asks a question, and this is a big group, guys. Somebody asked the question, is it okay to broadcast a freebie? Yeah, fair enough. Yes, it is okay to broadcast a freebie. We now know that there are multiple scenarios to broadcast, so the question is fairly broad, but it's more about the answers that are being shared here. So the first answer to this question is pretty okay. So not as an initial message, it's considered a promotion. So unless it falls within the 24-hour +1, will you be in violation of the Facebook policy. Not necessarily true, but have a look at the last one. And this is where the bait and switch comes in. It says the first, even if it's free, it's promotional. Yeah, okay, fair enough. And then there is a solution offered. The solution this person offers is, your first message should be something like, hey, how long has it been since you cleaned your outside of your windows? Which is the bait. Remember the bait and switch? Then the user answers with a quick reply, 0 to 6 months, 6 months plus, or whatever. Then the user replies, she engages, and then you should be able to send a promotional message like, hey, how about a free cleaning? Again, guys, let me go back to the bait and switch. A sales tactic in which a customer is attracted by the advertisement of a low-priced item. Asking a question doesn't mean you're sending a subscription message. Let me show another example. The question is, so you can send a subscription broadcast anytime, just nothing promotional, but promotional ones have to be within the 24 hours of interacting with the bot, ? Yes, true. And a follow-up broadcast are your last chance swing at engaging a subscriber at any time. Yeah, fair enough. Now, one of the answers here is, so non-promotional would be, and again, here we go, bait and switch. What kind of coffee do you like? So Sue, I'm going to take you as an example. Let's say you are subscribed to a specific flow, and you are not eligible for a +1 message. That means I need to re-engage you, and I can send you a subscription broadcast, but that subscription broadcast should not be a random questions. Hey, Sue, what kind of coffee do you like? Boom, I like black coffee, and then, okay, here, buy my black coffee. That's not how it works. I'm going to skip this one. Sending a random non-promotional message is not the same as an eligible subscription message. I hope this makes sense, guys. Again, sending a random non-promotional message is not the same as an eligible subscription message, and is not the way you should re-engage your users. That said, I want to show you the compliance timeline that should put some stuff in perspective. I'm going to do this quickly. April 2016, guys, that's not even 4 years ago. Facebook announced a bot platform for Messenger. This was not even Manychat. 2016, Facebook announced the bot platform Messenger. November 2016, that's 7 months after they announced the launch of Messenger, new policies are in effect for the use of the send or receive API, and are in effect for standard messaging and subscription messaging. So that is 6 months later. So that's close to 2.5 years. Now, another 4 months later, we had the big update where we were required to be approved to send subscription messages. Remember the deadline, the 31st of December, and then there's February 2016, the new Messenger platform that is probably rolled out to everybody now, was moved to the page level, which is where a lot of confusion happened, that you had to request permission from the Facebook page, from inside your Facebook page, to send subscription messages. And then now, December 4th, the deadline is postponed until further notice. The reason why I'm showing you this, because I want to remind you how young this platform is. I want to remind you that we're playing on the frontier. We're playing in the wild, wild west, and rules are being made and rules are being implemented as we go. And guys, again, you can't blame Facebook for not being 100% clear and actually putting these rules on its platform to make sure its users keep using it, and it's not going to be ruined as an email. So that's the reason why I want to show you this. It's just close to 4 years the platform is there, as we know it, as we're using it, probably 2, maximum 3 years. Now the deadline is postponed for subscription messaging until further notice. Now what? Now we need to wait. We need to wait until Manychat implements the ability to apply specific message tags to subscription messages. But in the meantime, your page is using Manychat's subscription permission to send broadcasts with the non-promotional subscription tag. This means, let me go back. In the meantime, the subscription message tags are coming. They're already there. And I'm going to show you the exact examples. They're being used. I know that the majority of us is using Manychat to build the bots and send the broadcasts, whatever. With that comes that we're not yet able to use any other subscription message tags than the one that is connected, than the one Manychat connected, which is the non-promotional subscription tag. When you log into your Manychat account, this is exactly what you see when you go to broadcasts. Right now, your page is using Manychat's subscription permission to send broadcasts with the non-promotional subscription tag. And this is crucial. So when you send a subscription broadcast, it is sent with the non-promotional subscription tag. As said, there are multiple tags. There are multiple tags, and all those tags are available, but not yet in Manychat. And message tags give you the ability to send messages to a person outside of the normally allowed 24-hour window for a limited number of purposes that require continual notification or updates. Now, again, think about the bait and switch. Think about the bait and switch. The initial message that you send to that user, that random message, that random so-called non-promotional message where a user then engages with or replies to, if that message you sent after the user is not eligible for a +1 message, if that message is not or cannot be fit in the currently available message tag applied to your page by Manychat, you're breaking terms of service. Each message tag may only be used for the use cases listed under the allowed use cases. And again, what are those use cases? Quick one, there's 17 message tags, but for now, I already said it, there's only one relevant, and that's the one that is by default applied by Manychat, which is the non-promotional subscription message tag. The non-promotional subscription message tag should only be used to send information, updates, messages, whatever, in regards to news, productivity, and personal trackers. I'm not gonna mention all the purposes here, but the main categories are news, productivity, and personal trackers. You guys probably know this by now. But what if you just say, fuck you, Facebook, I'm just gonna send it anyway. I don't care. Then there will be the Facebook police. And the Facebook police is not enforcing the rules as strict as they will be doing. Trust me, it's gonna happen. What's going to happen? Messaging policy enforcement. A policy enforcement will be taken on a page if it does not conform to Messenger platform policy, fails to meet Facebook community standards, or violates Facebook pages guidelines. And here it is, guys. Common issues include spam, sending inappropriate messages like porn or suicide, and abusing tags. So if you send a message now using the subscription broadcast feature in Manychat, the non-promotional tag will be applied by default. There's nothing you have to do about it. But if that message that you're sending with that non-promotional message tag doesn't fit the purposes, you are abusing a tag. And that could result in a messaging policy enforcement. And again, guys, this is all one-on-one quoted out of the Messenger developer docs. What is a policy enforcement? A policy enforcement will be a warning. And we got an example of a warning, a block. You are just blocked from the platform. I got an example of that too, or an unblock. And an unblock is that you will be reinstated. This is what a warning looks like. This is what you will see when you pissed off the Facebook police, but they didn't ban you yet. This is what you will see inside of your Manychat account. This is what you will see when you get blocked. And then you're fucked, because this is not what you want to see when you wake up. Not for yourself, not for your clients, not for nobody. And it's easy to prevent. Just do your own research and think about Messenger as a conversational tool, not necessarily as a sales tool or a broadcasting tool or email for that matter. So that said, my final thoughts, my final 2 cents. When sending a subscription broadcast, do not bait and switch. Do not ask a random message to re-engage. Do not send a random message to re-engage. If you're not using a custom built bot, you can use the available tag in Manychat for subscription messaging. That's what I said. You saw the screenshot there. That's available for everybody. You don't have to do anything. I know Mobile Monkey. I think Mobile Monkey has the ability to apply different message tags. Craft a message that fits one of the eligible user cases when using the current subscription message tag. If your message doesn't fit the tag, re-engage your users and broadcast using other eligible entry points. Email, growth tools, Facebook page, common growth tool, whatever, all that, but just don't do it. It's not necessary. Come on, you will get in trouble. And my final thought is do your own research. Do your own research. Don't believe whatever the crazy people on the interwebs tell you. Not even what I tell you. Double check me, fact check me as well. And let me know if I'm wrong, or let me know if I'm missing anything. I mean, we're here to help each other and make each other better, make the world a better place. That said, be awesome, be genuine, add value. I think if you keep that in mind, you won't get in trouble that quickly. Now, that's it, guys. Any questions? Do we have any questions? Who's going to keep this up? Giles, hit me. Casey, I didn't even finish my first beer. I was talking. Let me see if I can. Vast majority of people won't be eligible for a subscription. Okay, question number 1, Giles. The vast majority of people won't be eligible for subscription, right? Depends on your message. I think that's the whole point. The message is, the subscription message comes in when you want to send messages outside of the 24-hour window, or even beyond the +1 window. So if a user isn't eligible for, I meant to register for subscription. Well, as of yet, nobody using Manychat, nobody is able to register for subscription. So forget the register for now, because maybe when it opens. Well, again, it depends on your messaging. It depends on the product, the service, the messages you want to send. Example is Facebook gives amazing examples. It gives really good examples about flight delays, or I don't know, a webinar that gets canceled because of whatever the reason is. That would be a great way for me to send a subscription message to the users that say, "I'm sorry guys, but you signed up for this webinar. It's not gonna happen. It's not happening." So I wouldn't say that the majority of people is not eligible for subscription messaging. There are 17 tags that all fit their own purpose, and the only thing you need to be careful of or be aware of is that when you send a subscription message that it will fit the actual tag you're using. Did that answer your question, Giles? Okay, not really. Okay, well, in what way didn't it answer the question? So the 17 tags, 17 tags are all in the, let me search this for you. I'll share it with you in a bit, Sue. I'll share it on the page. What kind of messages can you send for an e-commerce store if they are non-promotional? Great question. Think about order updates. Think about customer service related questions. Think about sending an invoice, sending a note, sending, I already said order updates. I think that is the way you got to think about using subscription messages for e-commerce. And the thing is, guys, when a user interacts with your subscription message, when they answer or whatever, when they engage with it, they are, from that point on, they are eligible for standard messaging. And standard messaging means that the 24-hour plus one window is again opened. But again, it is super important that when you send a subscription broadcast message, whether it's one message to one person or a lot of messages to a lot of people, that it actually fits one of the 17 tags that we at some point will be able to add to our messages. So after subscriptions are open, Giles, so we can send subscription messages now, no problem. The only thing is when using Manychat, there's only one tag available currently. So after subscription open, whenever that happens, most businesses probably won't fall under the Facebook main categories. Think about a beauty brand. They won't be able to get a subscription, so effectively they can't broadcast anymore. Correct. They cannot broadcast from a commercial perspective, but they cannot no, that's not true. They cannot broadcast with a subscription broadcast. They can still broadcast with standard messaging or using the +1. And that is where your eligible entry points come in, because it is up to you, let's say the page owner, to keep your subscribers engaged. And you can engage them, or you can re-engage them with content on your Facebook page. Think about the Common Growth Tool, for example. Somebody interacts with the Common Growth Tool, boom, they're eligible for standard messaging, and the 24-hour plus one window opens. You can send them emails with the ref URL, and when the user engages with the ref URL in the email, boom, they are eligible for standard messaging, which may include commercial messages for 24-hour and then the +1 message. So the subscription messaging is purely for those specific use cases. I hope that answered the question, Giles. So they can. Sue Rutger, do you apply with a specific bot and then does it open it up for that one bot, a flow of health tips, or for your whole account? No, it's one bot. It's one bot. And I would double check if health tips are one of the eligible use cases within one of the 17 message tags you can apply. Pangai, what do you say about sending a weekly, once a week free webinar sign up message through a subscription? I wouldn't do it. How I would do that, I would have those people sign up through my Facebook page. using the comment growth tool, or use the ref URL in email, or use, so for example, if you, and that's what we do with Palau Dive Adventures, we get a lot of traffic on the site, and a lot of people use the chat plugin, the Manychat, the Facebook customer chat plugin. And as soon as somebody subscribes through that plugin, we have a flow in place that invites them to join a webinar or download a guide, or etc. So we built that from there. So I wouldn't send free webinar sign-up messages through a subscription, especially not the non-promotional subscription message tag that is applied now by default to your Manychat account. So Sue, you don't have to apply anymore for subscription messaging. The deadline for subscription messaging for pages is there's no deadline anymore. Although Facebook encourages you to actually apply for subscription, it is not necessarily mandatory. And when you send a subscription message using the subscription message feature in Manychat, it will by default, for now, apply the non-promotional subscription message tag. So that will be for that specific page. Okay, Giles, another one, 3 strikes. I'll ask a different question. With 24+1, what happens if you have a sequence with valuable content, for example, how to sell your home? If a sequence is set up and a user doesn't interact with message 1, are we breaking terms of service and sending the second message in the sequence? Technically, yes. It depends a little bit. So, and we spoke about this, not necessarily we, but this came up in the group more often. So the thing is, when a user subscribes to your bot, to your flow, because they subscribe to a flow, at that point they subscribe, they are eligible for standard messaging. Standard messaging opens up a window for 24 hours. In those 24 hours, you are allowed to send them as much messages, commercial messages as you want. If the user doesn't engage in those 24 hours, you still have a +1. That +1 can be used whenever you want. But if the user doesn't engage with that +1, or if she doesn't engage with that +1, the user needs to be re-engaged through eligible messenger entry points. That means that if you send a message beyond the +1 to somebody who's not eligible to receive that message, yes, you are breaking the terms of service. That is why in that scenario, I don't use sequences anymore. And if we do use sequences, we set them up with conditional logic. And the conditional logic then is, if the user did not interact with the previous message, then we take them out of the flow. I hope that answered your question, Giles. Michael Ramos. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. I'm making a bot for an event. One of the goals is to have an interactive experience during the event as a guide and time reminders when elected. We're working on driving traffic to the bot prior to the event, but I want to make sure if using subscription broadcasts will be at all viable, considering the end goal is to attract the public. Haven't got to reason. No, yeah, I don't think you will be using any subscription message tags, because let's say the person comes into the event on Monday, whatever, and they subscribe through the scan code. Then at the moment they scan the scan code and they are subscribed to your specific flow, you got your 24-hour window open. And in that 24 hours, you can do whatever you want. Well, you can do whatever you want, well, within the platform. Well, you know what I mean. So the user scans, 24-hour window opens. If your event takes longer than 24 hours, I would probably have them scan a second code when they come in the next day. I hope that answered your question, Michael. Okay, cool. And what about driving traffic to the bot prior to the event, say like 1 month? Yeah, definitely do it. So what you want to do is you want to build your list. So you want to have your lead magnet up and running. If you want to have your lead magnet out there, people download your lead magnet, they subscribe to the event, or sorry, they subscribe to your bot, then they live there. Now, Messenger is just a tool in your toolbox. So it's up to you which other tools you're going to use to keep your users re-engaged. So what you can do, people subscribe to your bot, push them through Flow, make sure you sync their email address, phone number, whatever, with your CRM. And from there, build a proper email nurture flow. In that email nurture flow, make sure you make proper use of the ref URL. And the ref URL is another way to re-engage your users. If a user clicks on the ref URL, they used a eligible Messenger entry point and now are again open to standard messaging, which allows you another 24 hours. But also ask their email address and send an SMS. And in that SMS, you can again use the ref URL. And make sure you tag your users as soon as they come in, and you qualify users in your initial flow and tag them. And based on the tags, you can export your PSIDs. I'm not sure what PSID stand for, but it's not the Manychat ID, but it's the Facebook ID. So you can export the Facebook IDs. We got the training video about how to export those Facebook IDs in the unit section. And you can create custom audiences. Now, when you get custom audiences, you can retarget those people towards a Facebook event you're probably going to set up for that specific event. So now you got people in your Messenger bot, export PSIDs, now target those people to like your Facebook page, your Facebook event as well. Now you can start retargeting people who like your Facebook event, et cetera, et cetera. Now, what you want to do is towards the event, you want to re-engage as much people as possible so that you line as much people up as possible that are eligible or for a standard message or for a +1 message, so you can broadcast to those people without using the subscription message tag. The subscription message tag can definitely be used for updates in regards to the event. The event is starting, the event is canceled, blah, that kind of stuff. Michael, I hope that answered your question. Alrighty then. So using, regarding the sequence. So Messenger makes it super hard to give value inside the platform because getting a message every day is a pain in the ass for most. I think it's about value. And I understand, I hear you when you say getting a daily message. Yeah, I would say getting a shitty daily message, that would be a pain in the ass. You gotta be really careful with sequences. Messenger is not email. We can drip, I don't know, 7 days a week. I don't know how many emails a day, whatever you want, but that should just not be done with email. It's a conversational platform. So if the user doesn't interact with your messages, Facebook just says, okay, if the user doesn't interact, boom, then there's a +1. If they do not interact with the +1, done. You then need to re-engage them through one of the Messenger, through one of the eligible entry points, or you are allowed to send them a message that can be fit with a specific message tag. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Why would Facebook allow you to keep sending their users messages if they don't interact? That makes sense. Giles, if you do a follow-up broadcast after 24 hours and your message is split into an image and 2 short SMS-style messages, is that breaking the 24 hours because it's technically 3 messages? Well, it's just your first message. That's where it starts. If you do a follow-up broadcast and your message is split into an image and 2 short SMS, is the break in 24 hours plus 1 because technically 3 messages? I don't necessarily understand your question. The only thing what I can think about this is don't try to game the system. And I'm not sure if you do, I'm not sure if I understand your question, but again, don't try to game the system. Think about it. It makes sense. The rules make perfect sense in my opinion. Conversational platform. It's not a sales tool. It's a customer service tool that, when used right, can drive sales. All right, guys. If there are no more questions, then we're going to wrap this up. Pretty awesome that we had so many questions, and so quite a lot of you were here. I'm going to push this to the group as well. The replay will be there. That will probably be there tomorrow. And please feel free to drop me any questions in the group. What you can do as well, if that's easier, just shoot a quick Loom video and drop them in the group as well. And then I'm going to reply to that with another Loom video. That saves a lot of time in typing, and sometimes it's easier just to shoot a quick video with more complex questions in regarding to subscription message tags, etc. Guys, thank you so much. I'm going to wrap this up. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for being awesome. And think about it. Just be awesome, be genuine, and add value. And that will take you a long way. Again, guys, thank you so much. Replay will be uploaded to the group, and I'll see you on the other side.